My child, if you're seeing this, then you are not one of the many. I've chosen you from among the few. This moment isn't a coincidence. It's not just another passing message in a sea of noise. It's a divine appointment I arranged before time knew your name. You didn't stumble across these words. I brought you here. You've been asking for a sign, for clarity, for confirmation. And now, in my perfect timing, I'm giving it. Pause and receive this, because what I'm about to reveal was never meant for everyone. It's for the ones I handpicked, and you are one of them. You've carried questions in your heart, quiet ones, the kind that echo in silence when no one's watching. You've wondered if I see you, if I hear the cries you never spoke out loud. You've watched others receive their breakthrough while your prayers seemed to hang in the air unanswered. And still you stayed, still you believed. That faith, my child, did not go unnoticed. It marked you with favor long before the weight of this world tried to convince you you were forgotten. You are not forgotten. You are seen, you are known, and you are now being spoken to. What I'm saying to you today is not about your past. It's about your positioning. You're standing at the edge of something new, and only a rare few reach this threshold. That's why the resistance has increased. That's why you felt pressure in your spirit that you couldn't explain. The discomfort wasn't punishment. It was preparation, because where I'm taking you cannot be accessed through ease. It must be entered with understanding, with alignment and with awareness that this is sacred ground. You are standing on the edge of fulfillment. And I need you to listen carefully. There is something about you, my child, that the adversary has tried to suppress. He knew if you made it this far, he wouldn't be able to stop what comes next. He sent confusion to blur your clarity. He whispered doubt in moments of stillness. He rearranged relationships and removed what seemed like stability. But look again, I wasn't absent. I was present in the stripping away, in the redirection, in thessalence. I never left your side. I was building in you a strength that no storm could dismantle. You weren't overlooked. You were being hidden for the right time. And now that time is breaking open. My voice is louder than confusion. My will is stronger than opposition. My timing is unfolding before you. But this is the truth only the few I've chosen will understand. What's coming doesn't look like what you expected. You imagined ease, but I'm delivering transformation. You prayed for restoration, and I'm giving you a new foundation, not just for survival, but for legacy. Remember the moments you felt like quitting, the nights you wept without words, the seasons when no one knew the cost of your obedience. I saw it all. And I recorded it not to remind you of your pain, but to show you the weight of what you're about to carry. You are not stepping into just another chapter. You're entering a realm of divine trust. I'm placing things in your hands that require maturity, that require resilience, and that require the kind of faith you've been growing in secret. The battles weren't for nothing. The waiting wasn't wasted. It trained your spirit to hear me in stillness. And now I'm speaking, not through loud winds or earthquakes, but through the whisper that pierces through uncertainty. That whisper is mine, and it says, you are chosen. Others may not see why. Even you may question it, but I do not select based on appearance. I choose according to design. And you were designed for this. This moment is sacred. The very fact that your eyes are reading these words means you passed tests you didn't know you were taking. It means you stayed steady when storms tried to shift your course. It means you're ready even if you don't feel like it. You see, I don't wait for you to feel qualified. I move when you're prepared. And preparation often feels like delay. But it's not delay. It's alignment. I was aligning your mind, your emotions, your connections, and even your location for what I'm about to release. Others won't understand how quickly things change for you. They won't see the nights you wrestled in prayer, the times you stayed silent instead of retaliating, the hours you sacrificed for peace. But I saw and I weighed every moment in the balance, and now the scale has tipped. Not toward judgment, but toward breakthrough. You're not being punished. You're being positioned, not just for blessing, but for impact. You've prayed for answers. I'm giving you access. You've asked for relief. I'm releasing revelation. But hear me clearly. The change won't begin around you. It will begin within you. That's how I work with roots first, then fruit. I've been cultivating your roots in dry places, and now in what seemed like a wilderness, life will spring forth. You will not just survive this season. You will emerge transformed. Others will see the glow, but only you, and I will know the full cost of this glow up. The shift won't always be obvious at first. It may come wrapped in quiet nudges in doors you didn't knock on, in favor that seems to find you when you least expect it. But make no mistake, it is I who orchestrates every step. The relationships I reignite, the onies I remove, the thoughts I renew, the strength I restore. It is all intentional. Nothing is random when it comes to your calling. That is why I shielded certain things from your view. You wanted clarity. I gave you covering because clarity without maturity leads to misuse. Now I am inviting you to walk with confidence. Not because you have all the answers, but because you trust the one who does. I never required perfection from you, only trust. And that trust is what has brought you here to this turning point. This message is not information, it is impartation. You're absorbing it not with your ears, but with your spirit. It's awakening something inside you that's been buried under busyness and bruises. That awakening is evidence that what it planted in you is still alive. Don't let the quietness fool you. Don't mistake the lack of noise for lack of movement. I am moving in ways unseen behind conversations, within atmospheres, through circumstances that feel like delays, but are actually divine rearrangements. You wanted me to answer your prayer, but I decided to make you the answer to someone else's. That's why the path has felt narrow. That's why the refining has been intense. Because what I place inside the chosen must be able to withstand pressure. You are entering Ariam, where discernment matters more than popularity, where obedience is louder than noise, where your yes to me unlocks doors that hustle never could. This is the realm of the chosen. And you are one of them. You didn't earn it. You were appointed. You didn't manipulate it. You were molded. And now molded by fire, anchored by trust and guided by my hand. You are stepping into what was always meant for you. I am not finished speaking to you. There are things still unfolding in the spiritual realm that will soon manifest before your eyes. Pay attention to the small signs, the shift in peace, the restoration of strength, the way people begin to respond to you differently. These are signals that your atmosphere is changing, that your obedience is producing fruit, that your name is being whispered in rooms your feet haven't entered yet, and not for fame, but for function, because you carry something sacred, something weighty, and I trust you with it. Even now, as you sit with these words, something is stirring in you, a knowing, a quiet boldness, an unexplainable peace that is not emotion. It is confirmation, my spirit confirming what your spirit already suspected. That this isn't just a message, it's a moment set apart, a moment sealed in purpose, and only a rare few arrive here. And my child, you are one of the few icos. My child, the very fact that you're still here reading these words confirms something I've long known about you. Your heart is open to my voice. You've endured seasons that others would have given up in. You've carried questions heavier than most could hold. And still you stayed soft. Still you kept seeking. That's not common. That's not ordinary. That's why I call you one of the few, not because you were always strong, but because even when you felt weak, you did not walk away. Even in your silence, you stayed connected. Even through confusion, you kept looking for light. Let me tell you something few understand. The ones I choose are not always the ones who appear qualified. They are the ones who allow themselves to be refined. You didn't push your way here through striving. You arrived because you allowed me to shape you through stillness. I watched as you let go of things that comforted your emotions but clouded your spirit. I saw you release what once defined your worth so I could redefine it in truth. That surrender, that quiet willingness to be transformed is what made you ready. You are not standing here by accident. You're standing in the place of response. Heaven has heard your unspoken prayers, the ones you whispered not in bold declarations, but in fragile moments when hope was barely holding on. I heard those prayers, and more than that, is stored them not in delay, but in design, because some answers must wait for the right moment to bloom. And now, my child, the bloom is near. Do not misinterpret the intensity of this time. The pressure you've been feeling, the restlessness. You can't name. The sudden shifts in relationships, dreams, even desires, these are contractions, signs of birth. You are not breaking. You are birthing. I have been forming something sacred in the unseen places of your life. And now the veil is thinning. You are about to witness what was once only a promise. And yes, there were moments when you questioned everything. You wondered if you missed your moment. You thought perhaps I passed you by. But what you didn't know is that I was hiding you, not to punish you, but to protect what I placed inside you. You wanted exposure, I gave you preservation. Because what I've placed within you needed time. Time to root. Time to deepen. Time to outgrow the shallow places that once held you back. What you carry now is too weighty for the surface. That's why you felt like you didn't fit in anymore. That's why certain friendships faded. Why some doors closed quietly without warning. It wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It was severing the ties that couldn't sustain what I'm about to entrust to you. I was clearing the room so that when I open the next door, you walk in free. Free from comparison. Free from needing approval. Free to be everything I created you to be without shrinking or performing. This is not the season to look around at what others are doing. This is not the time to measure your progress by anyone else's pace. I am doing something unique with you. That is why your process has felt so unfamiliar. That's why your journey has been marked by detours, delays, and divine disruptions. Because I wasn't just preparing a blessing for you. I was preparing you for the blessing. There are things I promised you long ago, dreams that once burned bright, but over time began to dim. You tucked them away. You said maybe it wasn't meant for me. But I say this to you now. I never forgot. I never changed my mind. I was simply aligning your life to hold the weight of what I promised. And now, with your roots grown deep and your vision clear, I am ready to release what I've been holding. The ones I choose often feel hidden before they are revealed. They feel forgotten before they are honored. They feel emptied before they're trusted with overflow. That's why I allowed the stripping, the silence, the solitude. Because I was anchoring your identity in me, not in outcomes. And now, because your foundation is secure, I can begin to build on it. Do not look for validation from the voices that once misunderstood you. What I'm doing in you will not require explanation. It will carry evidence. There will be a grace on your life that speaks louder than words. There will be fruit where there used to be famine. There will be joy that no circumstance can shake. And those who once questioned your worth will see that I never stopped working behind the scenes. You may feel unready. That's normal. Most of my chosen ones do. But readiness in my eyes is not about your confidence. It's about your obedience. And you've already shown me that I can trust you to move even when you don't have the whole picture. That's why I've chosen you, because you don't need a spotlight to say yes. You don't need applause to stay faithful. You don't need clarity to continue. This is the hour I've been preparing you for. The pressure you've felt is the signal that heaven is shifting. You're not waiting anymore. You're stepping into what I've already released. The shift won't always be loud. Sometimes it will come in subtle confirmations, in moments of deep peace where fear used to live. Watch for those signs. They are markers of movement. And while others chase platforms and recognition, I'm raising you in purity. I'm aligning your name with impact, not popularity. What you carry will disrupt atmospheres, not because you tried to impress, but because you carried my presence. That's what makes you rare. That's what makes you chosen. You didn't come here seeking attention. You came here seeking truth. And that's why you're being marked in this hour. Not just to receive something, but to become something. To become a carrier of peace in a world full of noise. A source of wisdom in the midst of confusion. A steady light in unstable times. You weren't meant to blend in. My child, you were meant to be set apart. You've wondered if your journey was worth the pain. If the loneliness had a purpose, if the battles you fought in secret had meaning. And now I tell you, they did. Every sleepless night, every whispered prayer, every moment you stayed when you had the strength to walk away, I counted them all. And now the time has come for theirward that was shaped in secret to be revealed in power. Let your heart receive this. What I am about to do in your life will not be a repeat of what was. It will not resemble what others have seen. It will be different, uniquely designed for the blueprint I placed in your soul. That's why it's taken time. Because good things can come quickly, but great things are prepared carefully. And what I'm doing in you is not common. It is holy. You are one of the few I have chosen. Not because you were the loudest, not because you had it all together, but because even when things didn't make sense, you trusted anyway. That kind of trust cannot be taught. It is refined, and you, my child, have been refined. You don't need to strive for what's next. Just stay close. Keep your spirit open, your steps aligned, and your heart surrendered, because the same voice that led you here is the same voice that will carry you forward. You are not late. You are not behind. You are precisely on time for what only you can carry. The journey was long, but the purpose is great. And what comes next will show you why the process had to be so deep. Even now, the atmosphere around you is changing. Not by might, not by striving, but by divine orchestration. What felt like delay was preparation. And now heaven's hand is lifting the curtain. You are not stepping into coincidence. You are stepping into what has already been spoken over your life. The pages are turning. The chapter is unfolding, and I'm still writing your story with precision, with purpose, and with love. And you, my child, you are one of the few I chose. My child, listen closely now, for what I speak in this moment is sacred. You've made it through the waiting. You endured the silence. You remained faithful when it felt like everything inside you was unraveling, and yet here you are, not because it was easy, but because your spirit refused to let go. You stood still when the windsoft life tried to push you away from your promise. You trusted when there was no visible reason to. That kind of faith that's not found in the many. It lives in the few. And you, my beloved, are one of those few. There were seasons when you felt overlooked, when you watched others move forward while you stood still. You smiled while carrying quiet pain. You prayed even when the heavens felt silent. But do you see it now? The silence was not neglect. It was a divine pause. I was preparing a weighty blessing. And so holy it had to be concealed until your heart was strong enough to carry it with grace. And now the preparation is complete. The time has arrived for unveiling. Not just of what I've promised, but of who you've become. You are not who you were. You're not broken. You are not weak. You're refined, anointed, and sealed by my hand. What once felt like delay was my design. Every detour was direction. Every setback was strategy. Every tear watered the soil for the breakthrough that now begins to bloom. This isn't just a new season. It's a divine shift. Doors are opening that no one can shut. Peace is replacing pressure. Beauty is rising from what was once buried beneath disappointment. Where shame tried to linger, I now place honor. Where fear once whispered, my boldness now roars. You are not stepping into leftovers. You're entering into overflow. And hear me clearly. This is only the beginning. I'm positioning you for things that will reach far beyond what you imagined. Your words will carry weight. Your presence will shift rooms. Your obedience will open pathways for others. Because this isn't just about your blessing. It's about the legacy you will leave, the healing, the hope, the truth you'll carry into spaces that once rejected you. You thought I was late, but I was always on time. You thought the dream had died, but I buried it for protection, not destruction. And now I breathe life into it once more. You thought the season had passed, but I was waiting for everything to align. Your heart, your mind, your vision, and now it has. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. So walk boldly now, child. Let go of fear. Release the residue of doubt. You don't need to convince anyone of who you are. I've already placed my name on you. I've already written your future in light, and what's coming will be more than proof. It will be a promise fulfilled. Let your spirit settle in this truth. You are no longer waiting. You are receiving. You are not hoping in vain. You are harvesting what your tears have sown. You are not being ignored. You are being elevated. You are not just favored, you are chosen. And in this moment, right now, heaven celebrates your arrival into divine alignment. The breakthrough you've prayed for is at your door. The peace you've longed for is now pouring into your soul. The answers, the clarity, the confirmation, they're no longer coming. They're here, this message, this moment, this divine word. It was sent just for you. You are not one in a million. You are one of the few. And I, the Lord your God, have chosen you for such a time as this. If this message stirred something deep within your spirit, if you felt God's voice speaking to your heart, then don't keep it to yourself. Let it be known, like this video, to agree in faith. Share it with someone who needs this word right now. Subscribe so you never miss another divine message meant for you, and comment amen below to seal this truth in your life. You are chosen. You are marked. You are stepping into the greatest chapter of your life, and the world will soon see what heaven already knows. That you, my child, are one of the few I chose.